All right, Bobby, you're our intro guy.
Today is a special day, and today is a podcast where we talk about that special day. I'm Bobby Parker.
I'm Joey Nickel.
Welcome to Today Is.
Welcome to the show. This is we're a late night. This is our second late night this season, I think.
Yeah.
After hours, after one of my shows in Orange Park. It's the only time you had available.
Yes.
No rehearsal tonight, or did you have rehearsal?
I did not have rehearsal tonight. I've got rehearsal tomorrow night, and then I'm leaving for the weekend. I'm going to a cabin in the mountains with just a group of guys I've known for a long time, including my brother-in-law. It's that time of year. It's actually one of my favorite times of year. I completely de-stress over the course of a weekend.
Nice.
It is pretty fantastic. You haven't. I know we're doing this.
It's the Daily Show
now.
Today. Did you have any shows this weekend?
I had two shows this weekend. One was kind of unexpected, and was phenomenal because you were there. You were hosting. You were in charge of it. And I got to do a quick five, a tight five, if you will.
Nice.
At the Murray Hill Clean Comedy Series, the theater. We're just gonna throw everything around.
This whole episode is gonna be us doing pratfalls and it's visual gags today. Visual gags today. If you are not a YouTube subscriber, today's the day we're doing visual gags. You did a great job. It was a really fun show. I had a good time. It was a little light. Not light. That's not the right word because there were plenty of people there. There was,
right.
maybe 40 people there.
And we're two very heavy set individuals, so it wasn't that light.
There was plenty of people there. I know it's a 300-seat venue, so does feel a little small when we don't have over 100 people there. There might even by the end we might have got to 50. I think by the time the show started, I think we got to 50. But which is fine. 50 is a great number.
Yeah.
But they were kind of spread out. Like I wish what they would have done is when I don't know how many pre-sales they had, but I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure it was close to 50 or whatever the pre-sales were. Once they found out that the pre-sales were 40 or something like that. They should have just put up 40 chairs, and that's it.
Right.
Don't put any more chairs than that. If more people come in, set up more chairs, and then they should have maybe put it closer to just so that everybody sits closer to the stage.
Yes, maybe if you have 40 chairs, have 50 set up, and like have the back 10 like set as reserved or something like that.
Which is whatever. It's not. Yeah. It's not like. I mean, it's still fine. It's great. That's great. They let us do it here. They're great. Contributor to the comedy community right now in Jacksonville. It's phenomenal. We still had a good show, but I just wish it's when you have a crowd spread out like that, it's a little tough to get it warmed. It takes just a little bit longer to get it that much longer. Like my first set, so Mike Freed was supposed to MC and he got sick. So and I was supposed to feature. So he asked me to double duty. So I featured and MC'd. But I only did about a 5 or 7 minute set at the beginning to just I did some intro stuff and then kind of did a little, just did a little set. And then I brought up Phil and then I brought up you. And it was rough. It was a rough first set. It took the whole set to get him to warm up.
Yes.
And then by the time my second set came around, Phil had gone, you had gone. It was fine. I feel like my second set was just fine. It still wasn't like I still had to time it with that back set. It's like there was no cohesive laughter. Like I still had to time it knowing there was that separation in the back section and the front section. And then hopefully it seemed a little more warmed up for Vian, which great. Vian Pomachan, Dr. Vian Pomachan did a great job.
The comic doc,
hilarious dude. Really, really a polished set. Really a good polished. It's kind of crazy. He started after I did, and he not much after. Like we're pretty close, probably. I've been doing it for a little over 10 years. He's probably been doing it for like 9.5 or something.
Right.
Like I just remember I remember being around and doing a couple shows when he was doing his first few shows and stuff like that. Which I think I could be wrong, so I apologize if I'm wrong about the timing, but that's my memory of it. But he's doing great. Like he's got a very good polished set down. He's a very good public speaker. He has a dry bar special out that you guys can watch from 2024. Really, really good comedian. Really solid.
Yes.
Professional comic. Really, really good.
I think he did a Nate Land showcase.
He did. Yes, he did do a Nate Land showcase. And he did do a Nate Land showcase last year. Did a great job. Really solid dude. Really solid comic. I've worked with him before a couple times. The last time I was on a professional show with him, I think was at not Side Splitters. What's the other one out in the Bay Area? Snappers. At Snappers.
Okay, gotcha.
Over at Snappers, we did a show over at Snappers.
I met him at Side Splitters, and I think I also ran into him at the Atlanta Comedy Club.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, good dude. Good comic. Had a great time. Really fun. His voice was a little strained. He had been sick, and so his throat was a little deeper voice than I remembered.
Which is kind of ironic because he's an ear, nose, throat doctor.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So. But hey, I guess if you're around it all day, it's gonna hit you.
Right.
Eventually.
I just realized I don't have a way to time it. What time is it right now?
It is.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, really good show. Really fun show. Really had a good time. I was on TV this week.
You were.
I
watched
did we already
that.
talk about it?
We talked about it last week when we recorded because I think it was the same day.
Yeah. That was fun. Now, starting next week, not next week, the week after. Starting the week after, that week they're going to be First Coast Living is going to be doing a comedy series.
Okay.
I'm going to be doing some of us Jacksonville comics are going to be doing a 3-minute set and doing a 3-minute interview. I think the plan is to do one every day that week.
I would love to be part of this, and I think I'm going to try to reach out to Aaron proactively. Aaron, Leroy,
Aaron.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be good. I don't know what he has planned. I think they're going to do this every so often, do like a week of this, and then do it again. I don't know who he's got planned for this one, but I know that I'm on the schedule. I don't know which day I'm doing yet. But it's going to be Monday to Friday. They're going to be doing one comic every day from Monday to Friday. I'm really excited for it. I'm excited to this will be my fourth time going to First Coast Living. I think they give you a jacket on your fourth time.
Yeah, I believe it is almost as exclusive as the Saturday Night Live five-timers
club.
Yeah.
But they do 4-timers.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They don't go crazy. No, this is it's a great opportunity. I feel like I hope so. I don't know the details yet. I don't know what they're going to do about like an audience.
Right.
That's the only thing I'm concerned about is like if they're going to have an audience there or not.
Well, so that's the thing. Like I've done a TV set before for just judges. And there's no one else there except for like maybe the camera guys who are told to be quiet, and it is unnerving. But it's just like, frankly, going to some of the open mics I've been to where get zero reaction.
Well, here's the other thing: I'm doing a 3-minute set, so I've got to have it pretty trimmed down.
Yeah,
it's got to be succinct. Tight. It's got to be pretty tight. So I think it's just going to be one of those things where I just go through it. And even if there's no laughter, I'm gonna have to tell Leroy, like, we gotta let the cameramen to laugh. Like, we gotta let everybody in the room needs to be the audience,
right?
Even if if we could get 5 people laughing, that's better than 2 people laughing. You know?
Yes.
It's like, or that's better than no people laughing,
right?
Unless they're bringing in an audience, I don't know what they're planning to do.
That's a great question, and I think that is one of the reasons why a lot of shows don't bring the stand up in for that short period of time, just because you don't have that audience to gauge that reaction.
Now, I had an audience the first time I was on First Coast Living.
Okay.
It was a field trip of kids from a local school coming to watch the broadcast. So that was kind of funny that we had an audience to work with. But that I was just doing the segment then. I wasn't performing. But I'm still looking forward to it. I'm going to have to, once I get more details, I kind of want to be first, but I kind of don't want to be first.
Right.
Like, I want to be first because I think it'd be fun to say I was the first one to do it. But I also don't want to be first because I want to see how it goes and then correct.
Yes, yeah.
As it goes. Like, I kind of want, like, Marcus to be first or something.
You want to put a sacrificial lamb
Right,
forth so you
right.
understand what is going to happen to you.
Exactly. Yeah. I kind of don't want to be first, but part of me is like, well, it'd be fun to say I was first, but I don't know.
Right.
We'll see. Maybe the better set is better. Like, I kind of want to know what I'm walking into before we do it. But oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say we've talked about the first show I did. I also performed at Burlock and Barrel.
That's right. How did that go?
That was
on
a
Friday?
fantastic show.
Did you get a good showing?
It was jam packed. I think they could have sat 5 more people in the entire place, and that was the back side of the bar.
Okay.
So it was as full as that place should be, and they had just opened up a restaurant recently, like next door to it, and so there was a little parking kerfluffle, if you will, however you say that word. It was very, very packed parking wise, but there was enough parking within walking distance to where it wasn't a huge deal. It just stressed the other comedians out because they're like, we should have better parking.
Yeah, it's rough because then that delays the show if people are late because of that.
Yeah, but
it was a good show, huh?
It was a great show, great response. I actually had somebody come up to me afterwards and say, "Hey, I come to a whole bunch of things like Don't Tell Comedy, and it was awesome. I would love for you to be part of that." And I said, "I've applied, and they've never gotten back to me." I know I'm bringing this up again.
Yeah.
But they proactively told me that they're like, we go to those, and you're awesome. We'd love to see you there. I'm like, I would too. But it's the way it goes sometimes.
Now I'm worried. Will you guys make sure that it's recording?
Yes. Yeah. It is recording.
Okay, very good. Today we have no backup. Today I normally record the audio separately on a Zoom recorder. I plug directly in from the mixer to the Zoom recorder. I forgot the Zoom recorder today, so we're plugged directly into my phone. So the good news is I don't have to edit the audio later. The bad news is I don't have, if this doesn't work, it does. That's it.
That's it.
If for some reason we don't get the audio, we don't get the audio. There's no audio.
It'll be like that 1 week that South Park missed an episode.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I've never seen a full episode of South Park.
Oh, I was not aware. Yeah.
I've seen like clips online and stuff, but
Sure,
I've never watched it. But yeah, so that was fun. That show was fun then.
Yeah.
I love that venue. It's a real cool looking venue.
It was a blast.
I had a fun time last time I did it.
I will say that I worked with a guy who's popped up in the local scene in the last couple years. I've seen him around, haven't worked with him yet. Bill Hubner.
Yeah. Tall dude.
Tall dude. Real funny.
Good dude. Yeah, nice dude. Still a little green, but is still pretty funny. Like, I think he's on the right track.
Yes,
and he's really trying to. He was trying. I think he's still, but he was trying to run some shows earlier. He booked me on a show up in Georgia last year that was really fun at the axe throwing place up there, and then the axe throwing place got sold, so they lost the show.
Right.
Then the new owners asked them to start the show again, so now there's a show back there again.
Okay.
I don't know what the name of it is, but it's up in St. Mary's, Georgia, I believe.
Okay,
Could
well,
be Kingsland. I can't remember.
hopefully, I will find out about that because I knew it was being booked, and I know it was canceled at one point because somebody had reached out to me like, "Hey, you interested?" And they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
never mind."
Yeah, Bill lives up there
Okay.
in Georgia, and yeah, it was a fun show. We had a great time. He let me sleep in his guest room afterwards, so I didn't have to drive home.
That's awesome.
And then we went to this really fun country restaurant for breakfast.
Okay.
I forget the name of it, but Richard loves this place. It's like not that far from the train theater.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
the Kingsland Station.
Right.
It's a very good restaurant. I can't remember the name of it though. Dang it. Very good. Country food. Good biscuits and gravy. That
I
kind of
love
stuff.
country food. Good country. Here's the thing. And this is a hot take. This isn't something that upsets people. I'm not a huge fan of biscuits because I think most biscuits are terrible.
I will agree there are a lot of bad biscuits out there, but I needed another B word and I couldn't think of one.
Yeah.
But if you go to the right place, they're phenomenal.
Great biscuits.
Great biscuits. Like this place, any like authentic like local country restaurant where a one-of-one restaurant, they're gonna usually have good biscuits.
Usually, I will say I think the worst biscuits out there, and this upsets some people, even in my family. Cracker Barrel,
Really?
worst biscuits. They're terrible.
Oh.
They're just gummy. They're just hard lumps of
Biscuits and gravy, or like you're talking about like if you put gravy on them, are you saving the biscuits, or does it even not matter?
I wouldn't even put gravy on those biscuits. I even before I did all of the weight loss surgery, I thought that was a waste of calories. I'm like, nah. I would rather just like put the gravy on like home fries or something like that. I'm like,
I didn't think about that. That might be good.
Because it's definitely
gravy on
good.
the potatoes. Well, I get the chicken fried steak when I go there.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
the country
stuff.
fried steak or whatever they call it over there, and that gravy's great on the country fried steak.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, because it's not the biscuits.
You know who has great, in my opinion, has great biscuits is Metro Diner. Have you had the biscuits and gravy there?
I've tried it. I remember thinking it was good, but I like so many other things there.
They have a lot of really
that
good stuff at Metro Diner,
and I don't go very often.
I don't either.
So I'm like,
Yeah, I don't go to Metro Diner very often, but the food is very good at Metro Diner.
Yes, I was always.
They used to have a
impressed
sandwich.
with
It was like it was like they called it like a Pittsburgh, maybe.
Oh yes, it is. It is
really good. It's like
it's based on the Permane Brothers restaurant.
Yeah, it's a what's that meat? It's
so
pastrami. Pastrami
Okay.
with coleslaw, I think, is what it is.
and
something like that.
and French fries.
And French fries. Yeah.
Yep.
It's
On-
good. Phenomenal.
on
Love
Italian
it.
bread,
Yeah.
usually with a provolone or a Swiss, and in Pittsburgh, there's a restaurant called Permane Brothers.
And they have a sandwich like that?
They have
their
a
specialty?
It is amazing.
It's it's pretty good.
It is so good.
I like them a lot. I like Metro Diner a lot.
They've got different meats though, and what I would suggest is the cheesesteak version. It's not a Philadelphia style cheesesteak. It's kind of just like thin sliced beef. You know, it's not grilled like that, but it's so fantastic.
You know what's funny is that to me the difference between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh as cities is Pittsburgh always felt more Midwestern to me, and Philadelphia feels more Eastern to me.
I
not necessarily East Coast, but Philadelphia is closer to the East Coast there, so it kind of has almost a northeastern, like almost New Jersey vibe.
Yes.
Over there in Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh has more of an Ohio Midwest vibe.
Absolutely, the accents.
It's not even that far. Pittsburgh
No.
to like Cleveland is like an hour or something. Not even not that close, but it's pretty close.
Yeah,
it's a day trip for sure. Like not very far at all.
Yeah. I went to college right in between those two schools, those two cities. But yeah, just the difference in accents from one side of that state to the other.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Insane. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Well, and then you get up into. It's funny because that you can hear that accent development because then you get up into like Baltimore. Like Maryland accent is like to me. I always thought the Maryland accent sounded like a Philly accent mixed with a Southern accent. Like it has the Maryland accent has a bit of a Southern feel to, especially
Yes.
Baltimore gets a little less Southern, but like Maryland in general, I always felt like had kind of a Southern feel to it. But then it was like mixed with like a East Coast accent, like Philly, maybe New Jersey a little bit.
Yeah.
It's all weird up there.
Yeah. It is odd.
Yeah, it is funny. It is funny how like each state up there does have their own accent. Like, and I realize that's every state, but like there's a similarity with New Jersey and New York, but there is a difference.
Right.
Like, there is a difference between Jersey accents and New York accents, and then there's a difference between upstate New York accents and New York City accents. It's like, and then there's Brooklyn accents, and then yeah.
One odd thing that sticks out about this conversation, when my wife and I were, it was before we were married, we were looking at venues for our wedding / reception, and we stopped at I think it was the Orange Park Country Club. And just like, hey, let's price it. It's probably going to be well out of our price range, but let's see. So we stopped in and we were talking with the guy, and within like 5 minutes of just chatting with this guy, I'm like, he's from Southern Ohio / Indiana.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
And then the end of the conversation, just kind of asked, he's like, yeah, I'm from Indiana and I grew up there. I'm like, yeah, it's very obvious.
It's funny because Florida, every once in a while, you'll catch a Florida native accent.
I honestly can't even think of one.
So I can't replicate it. So it's going to be hard for me to like mimic it, but it's there. I know a couple people, Florida natives, that are like, have lived in Florida, 3 generations at least,
Okay.
And they, grew up in Florida. Their parents grew up in Florida, and there's definitely a Southern feel to it, but
Right.
It is different. In fact, there's a very specific general Florida accent, and I realize certain cities are going to be a little bit different, but I say there's a very specific general Florida accent that sounds like, I would say it sounds like a toned down Georgia accent mixed with like a surfer accent. Like, because there is that beach vibe in Florida.
Yep.
And now you go, I'm not talking about the Panhandle. You go to the Panhandle, that's Alabama.
Oh,
It's just an Alabama accent. They're all just Alabama people.
Alabama, maybe a touch of Louisiana.
Maybe, yeah. You could probably, you get towards the border, then yeah, you're getting a touch of Louisiana, Mississippi over there. But like, or swamp people over there. But Panhandle is pretty much Alabama. It's maybe a little toned down Alabama, but still, It's very much just a Southern accent. And then but like Tampa, I hear it in Jacksonville. Miami, not as much. It's more Latin in Miami. There's more of a Latin influence in Miami. Right. Definitely in Central Florida, like local, not Orlando. Orlando's not even Florida.
Yeah,
it's like the Vatican. It's its own country over there. But like you go to like Central Florida, all the like crossover cities there. There is that, like, it's and obviously there's transplants, so like there's going to be all kinds of accents. But you hear a native Floridian, and that accent, it's a very specific, like, you got a Southern accent, but then they like they do like a, you know what I mean, like, hey dude, I can't do it. I'm not good with accents.
All right.
Okay, like I need a sentence now, like let's say, like, hey, I went to the show yesterday. It's like, I went to the show yesterday, like that, like,
I went to the show,
like, not
yesterday.
just show, like, I went to the show, like the word show specifically, you're gonna hear that Florida accent.
Show.
I went to the show yesterday. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm coming across correctly.
I will listen for it.
Listen for it. Next time you meet somebody who you know is a native Floridian, and like their parents were a native Floridian. It's very specific because Florida has so many transplants that it's very hard to find one of those. But there are people I know in like their friend, like, are in my life that have that accent and that are native Floridians.
I love it. Speaking of transplants, I heard something over the weekend that made me laugh. and just based on the historical context, I was chatting with somebody, and I'm like, oh, I haven't seen you around for a while, and this person, not going to name names just because, but he's like, said, yeah, been traveling. I bought some property down in Uruguay, just in case, everything goes south here politically and the brown shirts start marching through the states. And I said, well, hold on, you bought a property in Uruguay in case the brown shirts start, like, isn't that where all the brown shirts are?
Does he think he's gonna hop over them and then come from behind?
Well, I was like, isn't that where most of the Nazis went and fled and hung out?
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, a lot of areas like in South America, with Brazil and Argentina, and Uruguay.
Yeah,
that's how they pronounce it there.
Uruguay.
Did he say Uruguay? Or are you saying Uruguay?
I'm saying, I forget how he said it. I just know that was the country. I don't think he pronounced it correctly or the way you did.
Yeah. I think he might not know his history about where the Nazis fled to. I don't know if I've said this on the podcast. My brother-in-law served his mission for the church. He lived in Brazil for 2 years.
Okay.
And I remember him saying something like, oh, well, while I was there, it's crazy. There was this German village in Brazil. It was so weird. I don't know how they got there, but they're all like these white Germans. I mean, they spoke Portuguese, but they also spoke German. It was weird. None of them spoke English. It was really odd. I never seen that before. I was like, oh, yeah? How long they been there? Since maybe the 1940s? He's like, oh, yeah, how'd you know? He's like, it's been that long. It's like, yeah, maybe a couple generations, right? Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's the old Nazi dine and dash over there. That's what that was. That all of their parents and grandparents are war criminals. That's how that happened.
Well, we're here making empanadas.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's like
sauerkraut empanadas.
He had no idea that's why they were there. It's like they escaped oppression, not escaped being oppressed. They escaped being the oppressors. And went to Brazil.
Yeah, they escaped trials. I believe that's the way that's phrased. These
fled
were
the Nazis
justice.
Not smart enough to get hired by NASA. They went down to South America.
True. But also the ones who were smart enough to escape.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I just realized I don't know have a way to time it to know when to put the graphic in.
Well, yeah, that stinks.
Today's episode is I don't know how to. Actually, can you want to look for me?
Yeah,
I'll just look at how long it's been recording because I want to be able to put the graphic in at the right spot.
We're at 28 minutes and 10 seconds.
Okay, that's not too bad. That'll be easy to remember. All right, that's great. We're about halfway through, so it's a good time to bring up the topic, which I forgot. National Fairy Tale Day.
National Fairy Tale Day.
National Fairy Tale Day is today, Thursday or Friday. I don't know.
One of the days of
it's National Fairy Tale Day today.
The day that this came out is National Fairy Tale Day.
26th, I think. So I think Thursday.
Yeah.
I want to say. I don't know. We'll find it. You'll see. Just look at what day it is right now, and you'll know that is the date of National Fairy Tale Day. Which I have a bone to pick. What's the website I use? I forget. I use a website to find out what day the days are. Well, this year they have not updated the day on holidays yet.
Oh.
So we did a mistake a couple of episodes ago because it said that National Extraterrestrial Culture Day, it said it was on a Saturday, I think, or a Friday or something, and it was the day before because it's a day on holiday.
Oh my.
And so, but it said the date, and then I went to go look at it, and it was actually on it was supposed to be every year on a Thursday, but it said the date, so it was on a Friday. So we posted it on a Friday. I didn't tell anybody of this mistake, so I don't think anybody noticed.
I think
I've offended the extraterrestrial cultures.
I think the important thing now is we've realized the mistake and we're coming forward with it because we're responsible journalists.
We're responsible journalists. Just so you know, I don't remember any of the details, but we were wrong on that one. But today is so since then I've been double checking to make sure we're getting the right days. So today is National Fairy Tale Day.
National Fairy Tale Day.
Today is a day for you to celebrate fairy tales, for you to go and read a fairy tale, talk about your favorite one. It is also a day to create your own fairy tales, which is fun to do. Now, I realized recently, just now, as we're speaking, recent. Just right now. That's how recent I realized.
Immediately.
That Nateland did a fairy tale episode. And Dusty was talking about a book that he read when he was a kid that he loved, and he couldn't remember the name of it.
Okay.
But I remember the name of it.
Okay.
No, that's wrong.
This sounds somewhat familiar.
The Stinky Cheese Man.
Actually,
I don't know if he was talking about the Stinky Cheese Man.
Okay.
But the Stinky Cheese Man, yeah, I think so. I think that was part of it. Yeah. So the Stinky Cheese Man is a great book. It is a reimagining of all the classic fairy tales, but from other, like they do the wolf they do the Three Little Pigs, but from the wolf's perspective.
Okay.
Like the wolf is like, hey, I'm the victim here. Like I eat pigs. That's what I do. Like, this is nature. I eat pigs. Like, you eat hamburgers. You eat ham. I eat pigs.
Yeah.
And then, so, like, I shouldn't be considered the bad guy. And then we have, and that might be a different book, but it was by the same author.
Okay.
And the same illustrator. But then the Stinky Cheese Man is a collection of books, a collection of stories. And one is the Stinky Cheese Man. And And the story behind that, the gingerbread man, they keep trying to catch the gingerbread man.
Right.
Because he's delicious and they want to eat him.
Absolutely.
So they make this woman.
And he has no soul because he's a ginger.
Yes, exactly. And the Stinky Cheese Man is the opposite. Nobody wants to catch him because he stinks. And nobody wants to eat him.
I mean, I get it, but I also like stinky cheese. I've enjoyed Limburger in the past. It is a weird thing. I went to a men's club with my dad when I was probably like 13 years old, and they had Limburger cheese sandwiches.
Ugh.
And I'm like, why not? And I tried it, and you know what? It's awesome. It's not something I'm just going to bring home because my wife would probably hurt me, but if it's there, like in a situation like that, I'm a good piece of rye bread or pumpernickel, some yellow mustard, some onions, and some Limburger.
There's a specific chemical reaction with Limburger cheese that makes it smell like body odor. That's the thing.
Yep.
But apparently it's good. It's delicious.
It tastes good.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a big smells guy. I don't know. I don't know if I can handle it. I don't like. You know what I don't like?
What?
Okay. Have you ever had papaya?
I've had. I don't know if I've had papaya by itself.
So my dad would buy. He loved papaya. He would buy papaya and slice it up and eat it, and it looks similar-ish to. I would say it looks like a cross between a mango and a peach. And like when you slice it up, it's similar in.
Right.
Texture. It's a little bit. It's bigger than a peach or a mango, but it's that kind of texture, and it looks good. Like it looks like it's gonna be good, and it's got like a pink color to it. And I ate it, and it was so gross that I felt like I thought I might throw up. It was so gross.
Wow.
And I'm the only person I've met to say that.
Okay, like I swear that I've probably had it in like a fruit salad, like a tropical fruit salad.
Right.
Places.
It's a common thing to put in tropical fruit.
Right, and I think I enjoy it, but I can't
figure out if it's some sort of genetic mutation, like with cilantro.
Okay,
I don't know if that's what it is, because every time I eat it, it has this like I don't want to say it on the air what it tastes like. It rhymes with fiavria.
Wow!
Every time I eat it, it tastes so bad. Like, and I've tried it several times to try and see, like, oh, maybe I grew out of it, or maybe I got a bad one. Every time, it tastes disgusting to me. Like, it has this ugh, and it's not like it doesn't like hit me right away too. Like, I'll eat it for a second, and then it'll hit me really gross. Did you know that? You know how if you eat asparagus, some like your pee smells?
Oh yeah.
Did you know that if your pee smells? Have we already talked about this on the podcast?
No.
If your pee
I'm intrigued at this point.
If your pee smells, I feel like John Stewart with my pen and my papers. Have you watched his like little? I just see the clips on TikTok of him.
That or old school Dennis Miller.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Who else used to do the pen? Craig Ferguson. He had a pencil. Craig Ferguson always had a pencil, and then he'd do drums on the microphone, the fake microphone that was there as a paperweight. What were we talking about? Peeing. So
peeing.
so your pee stinks if you eat asparagus, but not for everybody. That is a genetic mutation.
Okay.
If your pee stinks. Also, the ability to smell your pee, to smell the bad pee after you've eaten asparagus, is also a genetic mutation. So, like, if you can smell somebody's bad, if you smell it, that means that if you eat asparagus and your pee stinks and you can smell it stink, you have 2 genetic mutations.
All right.
Did you know that?
I did not, but I definitely have both of them.
You have both of them. Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
I don't know if I do. I can't. I have never tested it for sure.
So one of my favorite asparagus pea stories, my wife's old boss always talked about the first time he tried asparagus. He ate it, and the next day he peed, and he started crying because he was a teenager and he thought he was dying because it smelled so bad. Huh. He's like, there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with my downstairs. I've got to go to the doctor.
All right.
Yeah, that's I love that story. I always think about David King when I hear about asparagus pea. Thank you, Mr. King.
Thank you. I don't even know how we got to this. What were we talking about?
We started fairy tales, and then we.
So it is fairy tale day. What's your favorite classic? By the way, have you read originals fairy tales?
Well, they're dark.
They're
and
all
twisted.
dark and twisted. They're all pretty rough. They're all pretty rough fairy tales.
I think most people have gotten used to the Disney-fied version.
Yes, so they weren't intended for kids necessarily when they were written back a long time ago, and I think they became kids' stories later. And then obviously Disney has not. Disney has perpetuated the kids. I mean, I think the reason why Disney latched onto them was they were public domain.
Yes.
They wanted to find stories that were public domain, so obviously they're going to go with fairy tales. And this was, at the time, 100 years ago even.
Right.
So they had to find stuff that now would be 200 years old to find public domain things to write stories about. So they choose these fairy tales that were public domain, and then they all fairy tales kind of had some sort of lesson in them.
Yep.
And so baked into them, so that made it easy to turn them into kids' movies and stuff like that. But what's your favorite fairy tale?
So this is a tough one. Like I think my favorite is Goldilocks and the Three Bears, because I have very specific memories of Mom telling me that story, and just hearing that over and over again with her, and just it's just a warm, homey feeling with that story because of it. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I like fairy tales. I like fables. I like all of these stories, even urban legends now, which are kind of the modern fairy tales. I love all of them.
Very good.
Yourself?
My favorite fairy tale is Boys in the Hood. Is that a fairy tale?
Slightly.
Cuba Gooding Jr. Yes.
And Ice Cube in his acting debut.
That was Ice Cube's acting debut?
It was, yeah.
I didn't know his acting debut was a fairy tale. I don't know. My favorite fairy tale, you know what though? I really like Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
And if you go and read the source material for Beauty and the Beast, here's the one thing that does kind of irk me about Beauty and the Beast, the story of Beauty and the Beast. Belle fell in love with a giant hairy monster. And then he turns into some normal looking dude, some like bland looking, just some normal guy.
Yeah.
And the whole time she's like, yeah, I love this monster. I love this hairy bit. And to me, as a large hairy
monster
myself, as a beast myself, I'm like, hey, there's a chance. This is my story. This is a story for me.
Yeah.
And then what? At the end, they just throw all that away. They're like, oh, sorry, the I know you're into furries, but that's no more.
Well, no. At the end, they're encouraging you to no longer look like you look.
Yeah, they're encouraging you that at the end, they're sending the message that you are disgusting if you are a large, hairy man, and that you should not feel love. You should not be loved if you're a large, hairy man.
Yeah,
But that's like they fell in love as the beast, and it's like now in the, I don't know if this is in the source material or not, but like this might be an offshoot. This might be like a story that was written later, but like all those characters are kind of connected. So like Prince Charming. So in the movie Beauty and the Beast, she sings in one of her songs. She says, "True, he's no Prince Charming." She's in the. I don't know. Disney at the time has they've had connections between all of them at various points.
Right.
She's talking about the real Prince Charming. She's talking about actual Prince Charming, who would have been a public figure at the time, of some kingdom. And like I know that there's been some crossover and certain characters have shown up in Easter eggs and stuff like that. And where was I going with this? So there is a story about Prince Charming and whoever, I don't remember his name, Beast's name, as a prince. So he becomes the prince again.
Okay.
There has all that, but the stipulation, the idea is that okay, she loves him, so he turns back into a human. But when she is mad at him, he turns back into the beast. Like the curse is still active.
Oh, wow.
So it's an ongoing thing. So
so they fall in love, and when his wife gets mad at him,
when they're fighting, he turns back into a beast.
That's rough.
Because she's mad at him. But Prince Charming likes to use this to his advantage. So they're in kingdoms, and they're princes and now king. They become kings of their own kingdoms, and then they go to battle. They have wars and stuff like that. And so when they go to battle, when Prince Charming needs the beast to go to battle, he figures out a way to get Belle to get mad at him, and then turns him into the beast so he can go to battle and be good in battle.
I just keep on thinking like oh hey I'm gonna sit here and read this book like I wanted to this afternoon, like I'm a giant monster. What did I forget? I forgot to pick up the kids from school.
Yeah.
Well, I can't go get them like this.
So I thought that was an interesting thing to the story.
Absolutely.
See, so many of these stories were intended for adults and to have twists and turns that they really leave out a lot of darker twists and turns that I think are great in the original stories. Some of the original stories are not so great, but
well, I mean, some of the Disney versions,
the Disney stuff is pretty dark too,
right? Like
Pinocchio
and Gaston.
Yeah, Gaston's pretty rough.
He gets murdered.
That's true. Murder's a strong word. It was self-defense. He had stabbed him. He had an active knife in his side, and he threw him off. He threw him off a castle.
Yeah, because he was trying to get the girl who had been kidnapped and held a prisoner by a giant monster.
It's racist.
Yeah. I don't know.
Actually, now that I think about it, I think in the original story, Gaston wasn't killed. Like, I don't know. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Anybody who's a fan of this crap, anybody who's a fan of this can correct me, I guess. But so it's in the back of my head somewhere that Gaston was not killed at the end, and that Gaston was in the army or something. Like he was
definitely
the sheriff or something, or so. He has some sort of position in the military.
He was a war hero.
He was a war hero, right?
Is my understanding.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Like Gaston wasn't Gaston was a terrible person, and not that bright, but he was a war hero. Like he had actually fought in battle and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that comes to play later. I don't think he ends up dying. I think that comes in later.
We did right.
We have some original fairy tales to tell you.
Right. Who would you like?
I'll go first. This one is about the podcast. I have two.
Okay.
A short one and a long one. This one was written by John Stallings. John Stallings sent this to us.
All right.
So shout out to John Stallings. Once upon a time, just beside the ordinary world, there existed a magical kingdom called Today Is.
Ooh.
You couldn't reach it by horse or by ship. You entered it simply by listening. Every 7 days, two storytellers named Joey and Bobby would gather, sometimes in rooms full of Lego worlds, sometimes under the watch of a silent space guardian, sometimes in comedy halls or out beneath the open sky. They would talk of their week, wandering through little stories of life and laughter, until at last they spoke the words that awakened the kingdom. So, what is today? And when they did, these days themselves came alive, dancing, shining, reminding everyone that no day was ever truly ordinary. Even the strangest mysteries, like the empty package from a faraway place called the City of Industry, became part of the magic, because the real enchantment was never inside the box. It was in the stories shared about it. And so the kingdom continues to live week after week, wherever people gather to listen, because every day isn't just some day. It's a special day. The end.
It is a special day.
That wasn't a fairy tale at all.
It was
There was no story. It wasn't a fairy tale. That was a poem.
It was a setup for it was some world building.
It was world building.
Yeah. For an eventual fairy tale.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the world building.
Here's the story.
Okay.
Wait, maybe that was the introduction. Okay, this sounds more like a story. Once upon a time. There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah.
Once upon a time, right?
You got to start.
We all know that's how you start them. Once upon a time, in the sunny, slightly underappreciated, underpredictable land of Florida, there lived two storytellers named Joey and Bobby. They were not kings or knights or wizards. They were comedians. And every week, no matter where they were, whether in a room full of Lego worlds beside a life-size stormtrooper, backstage at a comedy club, or even out in the open air, they performed a small but powerful ritual. They would sit down, turn on their microphones, and ask, "Okay, Bobby, you're our intro guy." But first, they would wander through stories of their own, tales. No, I messed that up. I tried to put in my own thing. I'm going to back up a little bit. They would sit down, turn on their microphones, and would ask, "What is today?" But first, they would wander through stories of their own, tales from the road, funny moments from the week, and the little things that made life interesting. Testing. One week, however, a strange mystery joined their stories. A package arrived for Joey. It came from a place called the City of Industry, California, sent by someone known only as Chen. Inside, when opened, there was nothing at all, only packing material. No note, no explanation, no clue why it happened or had been sent. And yet, week after week, they kept talking about it. Not to solve the mystery, but simply to share the wonder of it. Because that is the true magic of fairy tales. They are not always about treasure or spells. Sometimes they are about two friends, a weekly conversation, and a mystery empty box that gives people something to laugh about together. And as long as stories like these continue to be told, every day can feel a little bit like a fairy tale. The end.
Okay. I like it.
I was going to say, what was I going to... Wait, that sounded like it was going to end with, and the real lesson was the last. I don't know. It's like what we learned along the way, or whatever. That's what it sounded like. Anyway, yes. That is our today is fairy tale.
Today is fairy tale. I enjoyed it, John Stallings. I appreciate, and you're a double name guy for me. You're a first and last name guy for me. I just feel the need to let him know that.
Very good. Thank you.
Yes.
So you have a story that you wrote.
So this is a fairy tale that I originally wrote when I was in elementary school, and we had to write a fairy tale.
Let's just double check it's still recording before you continue.
It is still recording.
Okay, great.
So I wrote this in elementary school, and we had to illustrate a book, and we put it together. I don't have that original, but I still remember the bones of the story, and I was able to recreate it with two of my favorite parts, just burned in my memory, are still here. And you're going to be happy to know we start off with Once Upon a Time. Yeah.
Perfect.
And I wrote here, classic opening.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. There was a knight. He wasn't a great knight. He wasn't a bad knight. He was just a knight. He didn't know why he was a knight, except it was something he was expected to do. His name was Egbert. Just Egbert. Not Egbert the Just, which could have been a cool name. Nope. He was just Egbert. Other knights went out and fought ogres, and saved princesses, and fought bad knights, but not Egbert. He mostly made sure that horses weren't being ridden without saddles. A traffic cop, if you will. One day, all of the great knights were busy doing great knight things and bragging about it, probably. When there was an emergency, a crowd of townsfolk came running into the castle, and Egbert told them to slow down. The townspeople were frantic and said their town kept catching on fire. Egbert was sent out by the king to check on the town because he was skilled in fire safety procedures, and all of the other knights were unfortunately busy. Egbert rode his horse quickly, with much safety and a properly regulated saddle, to the town, and quickly figured out what was causing the fires. The town had a dragon in it. Egbert saw his chance to be a great knight. Finally, killing a dragon would make him the greatest of knights. Killing a dragon would make him a legend. Killing a dragon would make him sad. Egbert noticed the dragon was crying, and each sob created a fireball. Egbert stood a safe distance away and yelled to the dragon, "Hey there, what's wrong?" The dragon said he was supposed to destroy the town and the people so he could be a great dragon, but he didn't want to be a great dragon, and he chased the townsfolk away to keep them safe. Egbert and the dragon talked all day. The dragon's name was Hamilton. Hamilton wasn't a bad dragon, nor was he a great dragon. He was just a dragon. If anything, he was a lonely dragon. Egbert and Hamilton decided that they didn't need to be great. They didn't want to be bad, but they did want to be friends. Egbert and Hamilton quit their jobs and decided to work together in town. They found a building with a barn Hamilton could sleep in and opened a restaurant, Ham and Eggs Authentic Barbecue. They never tried to be great. They decided not to be bad, and in the end, they were all good. That's it. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
What was the name of it?
It was Ham and Egg Barbecue.
Oh.
I threw the punchline as the title back then. I didn't want to ruin it this time.
Yeah. Like, just so you know, I'm going to give you the title after I read the story.
Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't come up with a better title now. Maybe just Egbert.
Yeah. Egbert the Good Knight.
Yes.
Good night, Egbert.
Good
night, Egbert. So he's not a great knight.
No.
He's not a bad knight. He's just a good knight.
He's just a knight.
Well, I think that's just gonna about be as long as my back will hold out.
Okay, yeah.
This show.
I've noticed you have some discomfort. I will ask one last question. I don't have anything coming up. What shows do you have coming up?
March 6th. Please come to Really Good Beer Stop. Chris Buck is the headliner. Dan Venti, who's been on the podcast, will also be performing, and Isaiah Burns, who's been on the podcast, will also be performing. So please come to Really Good Beer Stop on March 6th. Tickets are available at comedysuperfriends.com, comedysuperfriends.com. Please go there and buy tickets. Big show coming up then. So March 6th, please come to that show. That's all I've got. I'll be on TV sometime that week. I'll be on TV, and hopefully I'll be able to promote it a little bit while I'm there. I think that's it.
Yeah, check out Bobby Parker Comedy.
Yeah.
And check out Joey's site.
And as always, every Monday at Shantytown.
Every Monday, Shanty.
I mean, it's even last week. Last week I thought we were gonna have a light week, or this yesterday as we're recording this. It's Tuesday as we're recording this. I thought it was gonna be a little light week. No steak sandwiches that day.
Oh, yeah.
And it was cold, and I just thought maybe we might be a little. No, not at all. We had, I don't know, a lot, like 17 comics and plenty of the packed room, big groups of people there to watch the show that weren't even comics, that just were there, didn't even have friends on the show or anything like that. Great crowd, really good show. Also some really terrible comics too, because it's an open mic.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. That's how they get better.
And then at one point, so Will Blaylock showed up. I haven't seen Will in a while. He just kind of shows up every now and then. And as I'm sitting in the back, we're maybe 3 or 4 comics deep, and it's random. Right. I don't choose the lineup. I pull them out of my pocket, literally. Everybody writes their little name on a slip of paper. I put it in my pocket, and I pull them out randomly. And we were maybe 4 comics deep, and there had been a run of some pretty new, pretty green comics. And Will goes, "Hey, this is terrible." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "You want to go up next?" He goes, "Yeah, get me out of here." And then he ended up staying the whole show anyway. But yeah, there sometimes you can get a run of newer comics that it's not so great. But there are also some phenomenal comics that show up, like Will Blaylock, and
absolutely,
often Marcus Crespo and Chris Buck all show up to this open mic. We get some great comedy at this open mic.
I should apologize. I had rehearsal, but yeah. I will come out when I can.
So we are going to start a special guest series. I think I'm going to start doing it. I think I'm going to try to do it every first. No, is that a first? No, it's not. I think it's the second Monday. So I am going to have a special guest on March 9th. Okay. I know that for sure. And moving forward, I may try to do like a special guest on first Mondays on Steak Day. Right. So that we can ensure that there's going to be a lot of people there, and just if there's an out of town comic who's got an extra day they want to add on, I'd like to have this available for them, and then we'll take tips at the end to hopefully get them some gas money to help them on their way. So our first one is going to be on March 9th. I'll give you more details about it. We were still a few weeks away. Yeah. But I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to set that up whenever the opportunity comes.
I love it. I look forward to that and the steak sandwiches.
Well, thank you guys for listening. Today is whatever we say it is, and you're here for it. I'm Joey Nickel.
I'm Bobby Parker.
See you tomorrow.
Today is whatever they say it is, and we're here for it.